So TikTok isn't happy about Ozzy's death, but not in the way you expect them to be. They wish it happened earlier. And I'm so furious. This is the most pathetic and disgusting shit I've seen in a while. Yesterday, I hanged this poster on the wall because I thought for a long time I need a poster of Ozzy on my wall because I used to have a cool picture of Ozzy and flowers. I love this picture, but I lost it during moving some time ago. After watching Ozzy's farewell show, I was like, I need to hang Ozzy on my wall. And after his passing, I was like, yes, I need to do it ASAP. And I posted this video in my Instagram just recently, and one of my followers sent me this video that I'm about to discuss with you. This TikTok toxic waste of a video. And after I watched this video, I was like, I can't believe it. I can't believe these people, they exist. It hurts on every level. It's just painful. Let me express my thoughts about Ozzy and then we begin. I think Ozzy is far from perfect of a man. He's just average guy from a tough neighborhood, growing up in tough times, just an average dude. He was doing mistakes, he was fixing them, and that led him to be one of the greatest pop artists ever. Like, this is a very complicated story with the best ending possible. That's my opinion. He wasn't a perfect man, but the way he lived and dealt with mistakes, that's what made him great. That's what made us all appreciate him so much. In my opinion, he's like a part of me, not like a part of my family, probably. I feel like this man, he did so much for me personally. So I only realized most of this after his death. I was like, wow, there was so much Ozzy in my life. I never thought about this. So when I saw this post where people were unhappy with Ozzy in TikTok, I was like, fuck you. This is just... Okay, let's go. So here's the post of like 7 pictures that gathered already like more than 1 million views in TikTok. It's just 7 pictures with Ozzy pictures and text on it. And people went ape crazy. They wish that Ozzy died like earlier because of these pictures. And I was reading this and I was like, that can't be true. And I hope we're living a simulation right now. That's for dang sure. So these are 7 pictures that describes different Ozzy wild things that he did during his life. Some of them I'm familiar with, some not. But like, his stage name was Prince of Darkness. I don't think that he tried to hide his nature, right? He was like, bam, I'm partly a bad person. He acknowledged that. That's like one of the reasons why we like him. So what's here? Let's start with the first picture. In 1989, he was arrested and charged with attempted murder by strangulation of his wife, Sharon Osbourne. Later, Sharon dropped the charges. Yeah, I read it in the book like 15 years ago. Yeah, I know that. What's my point on this situation? I'm happy that everyone is okay. Nobody died in this situation. This thing that he did is awful, and I'm very happy that they could handle this situation without us, without my participation. They continued being married. They lived a happy life. They had 3 children, like 10 grandkids. In my opinion, they were happy together. Yeah, that's a wild thing that's happening in this world time after time, when like men being violent towards their women. It's not like something unusual, especially for a man from this kind of, growing up. People drink, they beat their wives. That's awful. And most of the time, these situations, they end in the worst possible way. In this case, it ended in the best possible way. I'm very happy for Sharon and Ozzy, for them being grown-ups enough to handle this situation and live and build successful careers after that, to being able to live together successfully and to create successful family out of that. That's a good thing. I'm happy this story ended like this. And nobody tried to hide this information. It wasn't a secret. It was in the book. And this is a signal for me that they are honest people. They're not trying to play with us. They're not trying to fool us. They're like, this happened. We aware about that. We wanted to fix this, and we fixed it. That's the way of living this life. It's not a perfect world. I've personally been through a lot of shit. It's hard to surprise me at this moment. And I understand how it could happen, and the way that they fixed it. They was able to fix it. This is what surprises me. This is what's unusual for the reality that we live in. Because normally it never ends this way. The deed is awful, The solution is beautiful. I am happy that they managed this situation like this. But these motherfuckers in the comments, they are not happy. They wanted him dead. It has more than 1 million views in one day. TikTok is not happy with like Ozzy being successful. They're like, if this man did so many mistakes, he doesn't deserve to be successful. He doesn't deserve to be alive. He should have been perfect right from the start. Right from the 0 to 76. He should be perfect in like understanding of TikTok users. Just look at this comment. So basically he was a shit person in just being glorified just because he passed away. No, he was an awesome human being that did mistakes, acknowledged them and fixed them and moved forward. That's who he was. He was a brilliant musician, brilliant personality, and the man who committed mistakes and fixed them, acknowledged them, never tried to hide them. That's what's so good about him, that he is Ozzy. He is just a live human being. He isn't perfect. He is Prince of Darkness. He was able to understand his mistakes and live with them. Like, yes, this was bad. I understand that. I'm gonna be better. Most of the people, they are not able to do this. That's what's so brilliant about Ozzy. Ozzy, gone too late. See, these people, they're like, oh, I read some random facts on internet. Now I need to start to send death wishes towards this person. And this one is like, he's looking up at us like he's in hell. Prince of Darkness is in hell. Damn, these kids are so funny. You know, when I hear some stuff about people that commit war crimes, nowadays it's pretty often, right? I never like wish them, oh, I wish they would be dead. They deserve death. I never say that because, you know, it just makes me feel bad. It makes me sick, you know? It's not something that I can do. It's not like my business. I can't, you know, do something. These were criminals and they are bad people. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like keep my spirit clean, keep my karma clean. I don't want to send death wishes to basically anyone. And they're like sending death wishes to the pop musician because they didn't like some facts from his life. This is like far from terrible. I mean, like, if Sharon is okay, if Sharon was okay with Ozzy, why should I care? Like, right? They didn't even break up. They continued their lives. I was thinking about this freaking piece of shit for the whole night. I read it before I go to bed and I was like, oh my god, these stupid motherfuckers, I fucking hate them. Okay, there's more. When Stray Cat scratched his new cars parked in his garage, he gunned down as many as possible. I have never heard this story. I read his biography. I've never heard this story. I don't know if it's true or not. I have never heard about that. Is this true? I don't know. Don't believe anything you see on the internet, especially today. I don't know if it's true or not. I hope it is not. I have never heard about this. I hope it's not. But if yes, it's very, very bad. And when people are like under influence of substances, different substances, they can do terrible stuff. I believe if it's happened, like all of his stuff, it happened under like influence of substance. But I don't know if there is any like official information about that. Let me know in the comments, please, because I read the book, I've seen millions of videos, documentaries about Ozzy in Black Sabbath. I've never heard about this, so please let me know who created this information. To be completely honest, I help animals constantly. I constantly donate money to the shelter. I helped a lot of animals myself. Here's a 14-year-old doggo that also was taken from, not from the streets, but from the people that didn't want him. So I constantly help animals, and if I saw Ozzy shooting down cats, I was like, what the fuck are you doing, man? And I would do my best to help these animals, that's for damn sure. But I never heard about this, and I don't know if it's true or not, but people in TikTok, they doesn't care. True or not, should be dead. Should be dead years ago. Because they are for good. They are for perfect world. And anyone who's not perfect shouldn't be alive. Beat the head of a dove. In a CBS meeting, Ozzy beat off a dove's head and slammed it on the table. Blood and feces everywhere. Yeah, that's damn true. I read it in the book 15 years ago. I seen the pictures. For me, it was like first time hearing about this, and I was like, this man is fucking crazy, that's for damn sure. That was wild, that's for sure. Back then I thought like, this is fucking cruel, man. But I appreciated the story of this man, that he shared this story. They showed the pictures. I appreciated like the honesty. It's not like some reporter found some information like hidden in archives and they tried to hide it. It wasn't that way. It was in a biography. He wrote about it himself. He attached the pictures to prove it. He was like, yeah, I'm Prince of Darkness. I lived in a dark world. And you know, based on my life experience, I lived like in the poorest circles, you know. I'm from Eastern Europe, from the poorest possible family, and I've seen people like this. They've been drunk, they've been beating their wives, but their family, they, of course, sometimes they might be like said like, I wish you were dead, but I'm 100% sure I know the kids that have drunk parents that was like fighting. Even after all the bad things, I'm sure they wished their parents to be just okay, just stop drinking and beginning to be just loving fathers. I think they excused them for what they did in the past to be able to have bright future. That's the like main wish in the abusive family. Not like father to be dead, but father to be father again. Stop drinking and being loving father again. And when like my neighbor who was abusive drunk man, he passed away, nobody was fucking happy. It's not how to make family happy. It's how to make bad situation like worst situation possible. There's no man, there's no father. If you grew up without father, you probably will understand me. Because I grew up in a loving family and I know a lot of people that didn't. And I can compare and I see it always affects. And if family member did bad things in the past, the only thing that his family truly wishes is like him to learn these mistakes and move on as a new person, as a better person that never going to make these mistakes again. That's the only main wish. Only TikTokers, I think, like, he's not perfect. Dead. Should be dead right away. Just fucking disgusting. So I do not like animal cruelty. I was shocked by these pictures in his book, but that's what he did. That's Ozzy Osbourne. He did mistakes, shocking mistakes time after time, but he learned from that and he became a better person. That's the lesson that we all learned from Ozzy. Drunk and fed up with his pets, Ozzy stormed the coop and shot the chickens, then set them on fire. Isn't it like the average day it's KFC? To be completely honest with you, if I like had to kill cows, chickens, and all this stuff to be able to eat meat, I probably would never eat meat again, because I just can't, you know, I just can't hit people, I can't kill like anything except mosquitoes and flies. I'm just not able. And like, just imagine like how I need to kill a cow to be able to eat meat. It's just not possible. And then like tear it apart into pieces. It's not possible. Yesterday I ate like cow's meat because I was able to buy it in the store. But if I needed like to do it myself, no, I'm just not able. I would be a vegetarian. And these people in TikTok, they act like they're not going to KFC to eat some chicken nuggets. They are all vegetarians, and there's like difference of chicken being killed by a KFC worker on the factory, and the difference between like Ozzy just being under the substance, doing crazy stuff to his chickens. But to be honest, I've never heard this story before. I don't know if it's true or not. I've never heard about this story. I not support like animal cruelty. But you know what? My mother, she has chickens, and sometimes she just chops their heads off to cook some soup, you know, chicken soup. What should I like tell my mother? My mother, no, stop it. My mother, she is able like to buy chicken from the store, but she prefers to raise her own chickens for meat. This is just her choice. I can't do it. I can't even look in it. My grandfather, I don't know if he had opportunity to buy chicken meat from the shop. It was like long ago. But he also, in front of me, in front of a little kid, he chopped heads of chickens in front of me to be able to cook me some food. for a living. What should I like tell to my grandparent, like, oh no, you don't deserve your life? These people from TikTok, do they really understand that all these fast food restaurants where they like take their meat, do they understand that there's basically a fucking giant slaughterhouse so they can eat their burgers? Do they understand that? I don't think they do. Kill animals is bad, but what if he ate them after that? Like, what's the difference? I mean, like, I do not support that. I wouldn't be able to look at that. But like, people killing millions of chickens every motherfucking day. What the fuck should I do with this information? Like, oh, I wish Ozzy was dead. That? No. Ozzy was one of the best people fucking ever. Thinking it was rubber, Ozzy beat, then spat out a live bat. Yes, he did it. Like, he mistaken a shocked bat for a rubber bat and beat it on stage. That's like the most famous story ever. It was an incident. What's so special about it? Except it was badass. On the flight, an annoying woman wouldn't stop, so Ozzy slipped a chloral hydrate Mickey into her drink. She passed out. It looks kind of crazy to me. I never heard this story. Again, I don't know if it's true or not, but like, so what? What bad happened? That's a wild move. I'm sure that's illegal. If he did it, that was a wild move. Like Prince of Darkness did a wild move. Wow. Who would have thought? But nothing bad happened. No one was hurt. No one went to police. No one went to court. What the should I do with this information? What's the context of this? Who is this woman? What happened? Like, why should I care? Like, I don't know if it's true or not. It happened like a lot of decades ago. If there's like someone was hurt, that's a police business. I don't know. This is just a bunch of useless information. And this is my favorite. Like, oh, this is so wild. Ozzy and Zach Wild shoved a 50-inch TV out of a 9th floor window. It exploded on impact, and the hotel billed Ozzy $38,000. And that's a classical rock and roll behavior that they probably like created these wild stories about throwing out a TV. Like, yeah, they did it. Okay, so what the fuck? Like, what? These people, they are such wishes that they can be impressed by stories like this. Oh, people, you need to like watch more rock and rollers biographies. Behind the Stage, which one? Because like, this is cliche rock and roll story. I can't even like say that this is bad. People might get hurt. Yes. Someone was hurt? No. End of a story. But the comments under this post, they're crazy, as I said. These are awful people. They make me sick. They remind me about National Socialism. Like, if something doesn't fit their picture of the world, it shouldn't be alive. You know, people that doesn't fit, they shouldn't be alive. Because so many death wishes under this pretty basic post was shocking for me. Let's look at the toppest. Was a Zionist also, which means he wasn't against Israel, which is bad. You know, when you're not against some country, you might be considered bad on TikTok. I believe in Twitter too. Because good people, right people, perfect people, they are against some countries. They need to choose a country to be against of. And then they need to want to be like this country to disappear with probably citizens of this country. Because this is a good thing. According to TikTok. Judgmental makes it sound like everyone was criticizing his clothes and the way he talked or something rather than literal domestic abuse. He drugged a woman, set animals on fire. Bro, that's not people being judgmental. It's people not being actual sociopaths, you absolute ape. That's true. Domestic abuse. What kind of conclusion we need to make after watching this post? Like, I know the story of Ozzy, so I know that this is presented in his history as mistakes that he committed. I don't know about drugged woman because like I never heard about the story, but this is presented like mistakes he committed and he acknowledged them and he lived further, like understanding what's bad, what's good. That's how world works. Most of the people, they don't understand what bad they did. They always sure that they're like on the right, like here, right? They're like, should be dead. Mentally ill freak. Probably he would agree. Prince of animal abuse, that's fucking disgusting. Fuck him. Compared to others, this comment is pretty chill. What the hell was his problem? Drugs and alcohol. And people are actually sad he's dead. Yes, I was very, very sad because of like his death, because Ozzy had huge influence on me in the arts sense of things, musical sense of things, stage presence, like how one man can be passionate about doing music. So he had huge influence on me, and not just on me, on the whole world of musicians. Yes, he was wild, but at the same time he was great, and he was chill, down to earth, the man who acknowledged his mistakes. What's so special about it, most of the people, they don't do that. They make mistakes and they're like, "F you, I was right." And till the end they stay on that like thing that they were right, even they were making mistakes, but they clearly weren't right. And here, just a simple man, he lived his life, he learned on his mistakes, and he built beautiful career, and millions of people, most of the musicians on this world, they know him and they loved him for his personality that he built after all these terrible things, that he built on these terrible mistakes, he learned them. And that's why people love him, because of his influence on basically everyone. He was a horrible person, but everyone made excuses for him. Yes, because he was not a horrible person. People made mistakes time after time. Sometimes they go to jail. Sometimes they not go into jail, they just make horrible mistakes. The most important thing when someone does something bad, if he acknowledged that, and now he's trying to live his life different without like repeating these mistakes. If he's not acknowledging that, if he's not like accepting the fact that he did bad, no one's going to love this person. If he like learned that this was bad, if he's fixed the situation, he did a lot of like charity too. He did millions of dollars of charity. His last show brought $190 million for charity. Like, how good is that? Why are you not talking about this too? Like, he was a motherfucking psychopath, but at the same time, he acknowledged that, and he did a lot of charity. He didn't kill like humans. They didn't do illegal things. Killing animals is a bad thing, but if you're going to KFC time after time, you need to shut the fuck up too, right? This one is a good one. Did people here seriously think the Prince of Darkness name came from his clothes or something? Exactly. I believe this name came from like his dark mindset, because he came from very depressed neighborhood after the war. It was bombed, it was poor, it was very, very bad neighborhood, it was very, very bad time to grow up, and this what made him like this, addicted to substances. This what shaped him, this what shaped the darkest parts of his mind. And then he was able to leave it behind and did so much many good things for humanity. And me personally. He apologized multiple times and got into rehab. He was an addict. He took accountability of that and went to rehab. Rehab, it's not that hard to understand. And the answer? No amount of apologies can excuse murder attempts and animal abuse. No, it's not how it works. If you committed something bad, it doesn't mean you need to like go to forest to live your days there. It's not how this world, luckily for us, works. If you did a mistake, you can fix it. Especially if you didn't kill anyone, the situation is fixable. I mean, like, if Sharon was okay with that situation, why the fuck should I care? Like, they fixed this situation like adults among themselves. That's perfect solution. If you live in a world when you can make mistakes, this world would be a shithole, because you need to make mistakes and learn from that. That's how you become a better person. If you think you're already better and constantly visiting TikTok, you're wrong. I like this one. He was also a Zionist and played in Israel multiple times, and this is bad because like he played in Israel. And any person that's cruel to animals isn't a great person. I agree. Yes, anyone who is like hurting animals is not a great person. But there's a difference between people who just killing puppies for enjoyment and addicted people. They're just doing crazy stuff. There's a huge difference. Okay, I am tired reading all this nonsense. These soft ass wussies from TikTok, they make me sick. This is the worst shit I have ever read on internet, probably. These people trying to portray themselves like they are from the perfect world when no one makes mistakes, when someone who made mistakes, he doesn't deserve to be alive, when me just appears in restaurants. I believe they never met any complications in their lives. They're from the rich families, both parents are okay, they don't have any problems at all, they never met any problems, they never made mistakes, they live in the perfect life, and they believe that the world is perfect and everyone who makes mistakes, he's just a bad person, while in the reality, everyone who makes mistakes is just makes mistakes. The only difference how you deal with these mistakes. If you acknowledge them, if you're trying to fix them, if you work on them, that's a good man. If someone keep repeating these mistakes, doing these mistakes, doesn't care, doesn't acknowledge them, that's a bad person. They're just a shitty person that doesn't want to be better. And everyone makes mistakes. That's the world we live in. That's how we learn how to live. That's how we know what's good and what's not. These people that doesn't know what's good and what's not, how to live this life, they just live in perfect world of wussing TikTok. That's fucking disgusting. Fuck you, people. If I will ever see you on the street, I will sneeze at your face with joy. Fuck you again. You know what's the difference between you TikTokers and Ozzy? You will never create something that humanity will care about more than 10 seconds.